You don't beg someone to stay. The moment you beg, you place yourself beneath them. And that is a place you never belong. If someone wants to leave, you open the door for them. You let them go because your worth is not determined by who chooses to stay. It's defined by who you are when everyone else is gone. Think about it. The people who are meant for you, the ones who truly see your value, they will never make you beg. They won't need convincing. They won't need constant reminders of your worth because to them it's obvious. They'll choose you every single time without hesitation. The ones who hesitate, the ones who drift away, the ones who pull back, they are showing you where they stand and you do not chase. You never lower yourself to prove to someone that you are worthy of love, respect, or presence. Understand this. Begging is a language of desperation, and desperation is a repellent. The more you cling, the more they will slip away. But the moment you release them, the moment you reclaim your power, that's when you see the truth. You were never the one lacking. You were simply offering too much to someone who could not hold it. Do not let fear of loneliness trick you into keeping people who don't deserve you. Loneliness is temporary. Self-betrayal lasts forever. Every time you beg someone to stay, you tell yourself that your value depends on them and that lie will eat you alive. But every time you let go, every time you say, if you want to leave, leave, you remind yourself that your worth is non-negotiable. The strongest thing you can do is stand still while people walk away. It's not weakness. It's not coldness. It's self-respect. And respect is what builds the life you deserve. So stop holding on to hands that are slipping. Stop waiting at doors that are closing. Let them leave. Because every time someone exits your life, it makes space for the people who are truly meant to be there. Never beg someone to stay. The one who belongs will never need to be begged. They will see you, they will choose you, and they will stay on their own. Always. Your worth is not dependent on anyone, not on their validation, not on their affection, not on their decision to stay. I need you to understand this at the deepest level because too many people walk through life believing they are valuable only when someone else confirms it. And that belief is the very thing that chains you down. If someone leaves, you start questioning yourself. Was I not enough? Was I not lovable? Was I lacking something? But here's the truth. Their choice to go has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their capacity to recognize it. You are not on this earth to convince people to see you. You are not alive to beg for attention or for someone's presence. You exist as a whole, complete being, with or without their recognition. When you internalize this, you free yourself from the prison of needing others to define you. You stop attaching your value to how much someone gives you, how often they text you, or whether they choose to stay. Because when you do that, you are handing over your entire power. You're basically saying, I am only valuable when you see me as valuable. And that is a lie. Think about the sun. Does the sun beg you to notice it every morning? No. It rises, it shines, it warms, it gives life whether you look at it or not. It does not shrink if someone stays inside with their curtains drawn. The sun remains the sun, powerful and radiant, independent of acknowledgement. You are exactly the same. You do not dim because someone fails to see your light. You do not lose value because someone is blind to what you are. The people who cannot see your worth are not your problem. They are not your responsibility. Their blindness does not reduce your brilliance. But the moment you let their choices dictate how you see yourself, you start to crumble. You start to believe you are less than you are. That's why I am telling you now, stop giving people so much control over your sense of self. They are not the authority on your value. You are. When someone chooses to leave, that is simply life's way of removing what does not align with you. That is not rejection. That is redirection. The universe is clearing space for something greater, for someone who will see you without you having to scream, cry, or beg to be noticed. But you will never understand this truth if you keep attaching your worth to those who walk away. Let me tell you something. The ones who are truly meant for you will never put you in a position where you feel the need to beg. They will show up, they will stay, they will choose you because to them, your worth is obvious. They won't need reminders. They won't need you to shrink yourself, to overgive, to fight for scraps of their attention. They will come with certainty, and that certainty is what you deserve. But before that happens, you have to master the art of standing firm in your own value. You have to walk like you already know you're worthy, regardless of who stays or who goes. Because that energy, that confidence is what will attract the right people into your life. When you believe in yourself fully, you will never again chase someone who wants to leave. You will never again beg for scraps when you know you are the whole feast. So let them go if they want to go. Let them walk out if they choose to. You will not crumble. You will not lose yourself. You will rise stronger. You will stand taller, and you will realize you never needed them to complete you. You were always whole. You were always enough. Your worth is untouchable. It does not shake when someone leaves. It does not vanish when someone fails to appreciate it. Your worth is permanent, and it's time you start living like you know that. When you beg, you lose your power. You hand it away like it has no value, as if it is disposable, when in reality, your power is the most precious thing you own. Think about what begging really is. It's lowering yourself to a place where you are no longer standing as an equal, but kneeling, asking someone to give you what they should freely give if they truly cared. Love, respect, attention, presence. None of these things are ever meant to be begged for. Because if you have to beg, it was never real to begin with. When you beg someone to stay, you are silently saying, I am not enough on my own. You are handing them the pen to write your story as if they decide your ending, as if their presence defines your future. But let me tell you, the person who leaves was never the main chapter of your story. They were just a page. And the mistake you make when you beg is that you forget who you are. You forget the countless things you bring to the table. You forget the fact that if they can't see your value, someone else will. You forget that the only person who has the right to decide your worth is you. Begging makes you small. It puts you in a position of weakness, and weakness does not attract respect. It does not inspire loyalty, and it never wins real love. When you beg, you push the other person further away because desperation suffocates. It makes them feel like they are above you, like they have the power to control you, and once they feel that, they will never see you the same again. They will take your begging as proof that you are dependent, that you are not strong enough to stand alone. And let me be clear, dependence is the fastest way to lose someone's respect. You have to stop thinking that someone's presence is worth more than your dignity. It's not. Your dignity is the one thing you can never replace once it's gone. You can rebuild relationships, you can find new people, but if you destroy your self-respect by begging, you'll carry that wound long after they're gone. You'll remember the night you cried at their feet, the day you pleaded for them to see you, the moment you traded your pride for their presence. And deep down, you will resent yourself for it.
Real strength is quiet. It's the silence that comes when someone says they want to leave, and instead of chasing, you simply say, okay. That silence is louder than 1,000 words. It tells them, and more importantly, it tells you that you know your value, that you don't need to beg for what you deserve, that if they cannot see your worth, someone else will.
You see, the truth is, begging does not change hearts. If they do not want to stay, no amount of tears, no amount of pleading will make them love you the way you deserve. At best, it will keep them for a little while longer, but they will stay out of pity, out of guilt, out of convenience, not out of love. And is that really what you want, someone staying by your side? Not because they want to, but because they feel bad for you. That is not love. That is prison. Let them go. If they leave, let them leave. Your job is not to convince someone of your worth. Your job is to embody it, to walk like you know who you are, to live like you know you are enough, to never lower yourself to the point where you beg someone just to keep them near. Because the one who is meant for you will never need convincing. The one who truly values you will never put you in a position where you have to beg. They will stay willingly, joyfully, naturally. When you stop begging, you reclaim your power. You send a message to yourself and to the world. I am not afraid to lose anyone because I will never lose myself. And that mindset is unstoppable. It's magnetic. It draws people to you, not because you're chasing them, but because you're standing so firmly in your worth that they can't help but notice. So remember this, the moment you beg, you shrink. The moment you let go, you rise. Never choose desperation over dignity. Never trade your power for someone's temporary presence. Walk away with your head high, even if your heart is breaking, because your self-respect will always be worth more than someone who doesn't want to stay. Letting go is not weakness. It is the highest form of self-respect. People believe holding on shows strength, that fighting for someone who is slipping away proves how much they care. But the truth is, holding on when you are not being valued is the very thing that destroys you. The longer you cling to someone who does not want to be there, the more pieces of yourself you break off just to keep them. And eventually, you look in the mirror and you don't even recognize who you are anymore. That is why letting go is necessary, because by letting go, you protect the one thing you can never replace, your self-respect. You have to understand this. Not everyone you want in your life is meant to stay. Sometimes their role was temporary. Sometimes their presence was only meant to teach you a lesson, not to walk with you forever. But when you refuse to accept that, when you beg and hold on, you are telling yourself that their presence is worth more than your peace. And that is never the truth. Your peace, your dignity, your self-love, these things are priceless. They should never be traded for the comfort of someone who doesn't want to stay. Letting go is a declaration. It says, I will not betray myself for you. It says, I will not keep shrinking just to make space for someone who refuses to meet me halfway. It says, if you cannot choose me on your own, then I will choose myself. And that choice is powerful. That choice is the foundation of every great life. Because the moment you start betraying yourself to keep someone else, you have already lost. I know it hurts. Let's not pretend it doesn't. Watching someone you love walk away cuts deeply. It feels like rejection. It feels like emptiness. It feels like you are being abandoned. But here's the shift you need to make. Letting go is not about them. It's about you. It's about honoring yourself enough to not force love where it doesn't exist. It's about standing tall even when your heart feels weak, because real love, real connection, real respect will never require you to beg. Think about how much energy you waste holding on to people who don't value you. The nights you lie awake replying conversations, the days you spend overanalyzing their silence, the tears you shed because they don't give you the love you crave. That is energy that could have been invested in yourself, energy that could have been poured into your growth, your passions, your healing. But instead, you hand it away to someone who doesn't care enough to stay. Why? Why give so much of yourself to someone who is not fighting for you? The moment you let go, something incredible happens. You reclaim your energy. You reclaim your mind, your heart, your soul. You stop waiting for that validation and start validating yourself. You stop asking, why don't they love me enough? And you start reminding yourself, I deserve someone who chooses me without question. Letting go is painful, yes, but it is also freeing. It removes the chains that keep you tied to someone who cannot carry your heart with care. And here's the secret. You never truly lose when you let go. You only gain. You gain your peace. You gain your dignity. You gain space for better people and experiences to enter your life. The only thing you lose is the illusion that someone was meant for you when they were not. And losing an illusion is not loss. It is liberation. Self-respect is built every time you walk away from what does not serve you. Every time you choose your peace over chaos, your dignity over desperation, your healing over heartbreak. That is how you build strength. That is how you create a life where love feels safe and true, not painful and one-sided. Letting go is not the end. It is the beginning of something far greater than you can imagine. So let them leave. Don't chase. Don't beg, don't break yourself into pieces just to keep them near. Protect your self-respect with everything you have, because once it's gone, you lose yourself. And no relationship, no person, no fleeting comfort is worth losing yourself over. Letting go is not giving up. It's choosing you. It's protecting the sacred part of you that knows you are worthy of more. Always remember this. The ones who are meant for you will stay without force, without begging, without games. The ones who are not will leave. And when they do, let them. Because in the end, protecting your self-respect will always be worth more than clinging to someone who doesn't value you. The right people don't need to be convinced. That's the truth you have to hold close, because so many of you waste your energy trying to prove your worth to people who were never meant to see it. You twist yourself into someone you're not. You lower your standards, you silence your needs, you try to be easier to love, all because you think maybe, just maybe, if you change enough, they will finally stay. But the right person, the one who belongs in your life, will never require you to put on a mask. They will never force you to shrink. They will recognize your value effortlessly, and they will choose you without hesitation. The moment you find yourself explaining why you deserve love, you are already giving too much, because love does not need a sales pitch. Respect does not need a performance. If you are begging someone to see what you bring, if you are fighting for them to acknowledge your presence, you are standing in the wrong place. You are trying to convince someone whose eyes were never meant to see you, and that will always end in exhaustion. Think about it. When someone truly values you, they don't need reminders. They don't forget your worth. They don't leave you questioning whether you're enough. They make it clear through their actions, through their consistency, through their choice to stay even when things get hard. That's what the right person does. They don't disappear when life gets heavy. They don't withdraw when you set boundaries. They don't make you feel guilty for being yourself. Instead, they step up. They show up. They hold space for you without you having to beg for it. The wrong people will always make you feel like you have to fight for their attention. They will breadcrumb you, give you just enough to keep you hooked, but never enough to feel secure. They will test your patience, push your boundaries, and make you feel like love is something you have to earn. But real love, real connection, it does not feel like that. Real love feels safe. Real love feels steady. Real love doesn't put you in a constant state of anxiety, wondering if you're about to be abandoned. You have to stop wasting your energy on convincing the wrong ones and start trusting that the right ones exist. They do, but you will never find them if you keep holding space for those who don't belong. If your hands are full of people who don't value you, how can you receive the ones who will? If your heart is tied up in proving your worth to someone undeserving, how can you ever experience the ease of being with someone who just gets it? You can't. You have to let go of the wrong ones to create space for the right ones. The right people will not need convincing, because they will see you as you are and love you for it. They will not run when you show your flaws. They will not punish you for your boundaries. They will not demand that you beg for the bare minimum. And that is how you'll know the difference. Love should not feel like a battle for recognition. It should not drain you. It should not belittle you. It should not make you feel like you are never enough. Love that is real feels like freedom. And here is the most powerful part. The right people stay because they want to, not because you beg them to. That's what makes it meaningful. Their presence is their choice, and their choice is the proof of their love. When you stop begging, when you stop convincing, you give people the space to show their truth. And their truth will always reveal whether they are meant for you or not. If they stay willingly, if they stay joyfully, then you know. And if they walk away, you also know. Either way, you win, because you're no longer forcing anyone to be in your life. So remember this. You don't have to sell yourself. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to beg. The right people will recognize your value without a single word. They will meet you where you are. They will honor you as you are. And they will stay without needing to be asked. The wrong ones will always need convincing. And that alone is your answer. Stop fighting for those who make you question your worth. Stop lowering your standards for those who can't see your light. Let go and trust that the right people will come, because the truth is they always do. And when they do, you will realize why nothing else ever worked out. The right people don't need to be convinced. They choose you, they stay, and they never make you doubt your value. That is the kind of love you deserve. That is the kind of love you must wait for.